Alright, today I got something a little different. Today I'm going to be comparing my friend's new BMW M235i to my Subaru WRX. I guess we'll start with styling, since we're out here. Hard to compare a stock car to a not stock car, but I think stock for stock the BMW definitely takes it. It's a very good looking car. WRX, obviously this is a biased opinion, but I do think the WRX looks better between these two. Purely because, well, I built it, so I should think it looks good. Let's go ahead and move on to the interiors. The interior in this thing is pretty bare bones. It does have this boost gauge, which is really nice. This, and the fact that it supports Apple CarPlay, is probably the only thing it has on the BMW in terms of comfort and interior. Wait for it, there we go. Yeah, keep it on waist, of course. So that's always nice. But other than that, as I'm going to show you in a second, the BMW takes it by a long shot. So yeah, this obviously has a lot more features than my base model WRX. Has a nav screen. The only thing it doesn't have is compatibility with Apple CarPlay. Gauges are very nice. There actually is a lot of room in the back seats. And usable back seats? Hayden's a pretty small guy though, so take that as you will. Okay, not a lot of headroom, but definitely a lot of legroom back here, and this is in my seating position, so pretty good, not gonna lie. As long as you can sit hunched over just a little bit. And I'm not 6 foot, so if you are 6 foot, good luck. And performance. So in terms of power, this makes 320 crank, but very easy to tune. This makes 268 stock. Also very easy to tune, but very easy to blow up. They're both stock right now, and I did race Hayden, and I lost very bad, and he was in comfort mode, so we don't need to talk about that. But in terms of similarities, despite the color, they're both all-wheel drive, both cost about the same. You can get a manual M235i, and it comes in rear-wheel drive though. So not a perfect comparison either way, but both four-seaters. Mine's obviously a sedan, but we've proven that you can actually get people back there, so I think this counts as a four-seater. The BMW comes with performance brakes. So I think that's all the comparison I can do with the car sitting there, so I guess it's time to get it out on the road and drive it. Here we go. So Hayden literally just got this thing a couple weeks ago. It's all stock. He is planning on going stage 2, whatever that entails, and he should be making about 400 wheel easily. These things are very, very tunable. You'll notice for a stock car that it sounds pretty good in the cabin. It's because it actually pumps in engine noise through the speakers. And you can hear those brakes squeaking. And I have driven this before, but this will be my first time going on any like back roads or anything. That's about 25% throttle. This thing is pretty quick. You see Hayden behind me. I don't know if you can see that, but the thing looks pretty good rolling. Steering feels a lot tighter than mine, and not like handling wise, just like the actual moving the wheel. It feels like harder to move, I guess. Not that that's a bad thing. The steering of the WRX is pretty light. One thing I'm not used to is I have like a digital speedometer display in my car, so I haven't used like an analog speed dial in like years. So I gotta get used to that again. I really like the nav screen though. It's pretty nice, especially for a 2015 car. So, the transmission. This has a ZF8 auto. It is technically a torque converter transmission, but it's pretty quick. Obviously it's not dual clutch quick, but the brakes. Once they get warmed up, they don't squeak anymore. But you know how them performance brakes are. It's like a ceramic compound pad, I think. Whew, it's pretty quick. And it does sound pretty good. even though the engine noise is fake. Outside the car it sounds pretty good. I just can't wait till he gets an exhaust on it. Please turn. Oh no. This is where the road starts. Why? Why have you done this? The bolstering on the seat does hook you in pretty well. I think I have it fully as bolstered as it can be. And I'm a skinny guy, so I do have a little bit of play in the seat, but it's pretty good. This SUV in front of me is kind of going for it right here. Obviously I'd like to be going a little faster, but I can't complain. He's giving a little bit of a send. That transmission is very, very quick. BMW did a pretty good job with it, I think. Just leaving Hayden in the dust from a standstill. It's not really fair. The car is slower and has a manual that he's not used to driving. So that's one thing about this, is it's easy to drive. In Sport Plus, it has a little traction off thing, but it doesn't actually turn traction control off. It just lets you, I guess, slide around a little bit as much as you can with an all-wheel drive car. But it won't let you spin out. One thing I should mention is when Hayden got this car, it came with some pretty skinny all seasons. I think they're like 215s, so the tires aren't great. Got a little bit of oversteer there, and the traction control definitely kicked in and didn't let me go around. I'm not sure if there's a way to turn it off, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to crash Hayden's car. But that does prove that the traction control system is pretty good. It let me feel like I was getting a little bit playful, but didn't let me actually put the car in danger. Getting pretty unlucky with traffic right now. This road usually isn't very busy. I know there's a passing zone coming up, so I'll just be patient. In terms of just cruising, this car is very comfortable. I'm in Sport Plus right now, and I mean, I could drive this on the highway for 10 hours and be just fine with it. Straight lines, this car's a beast. I mean, I know, only 300 horsepower, but compared to mine, it is just so much faster. So the reason I wanted to make this video was, the first time I drove this thing, I was like, damn, I really should have got one of these. So I wanted to actually like drive it on the back roads, drive it how I would daily drive a car, and see, well, did I make the wrong decision? Should I have gotten one of these instead of a WRX? And I mean, so far I'm thinking yes. I mean, I've been short shifting this whole time, and it's crazy fast compared to what I'm used to. I gotta put an asterisk in there. Does turn on a lot more than I would be expecting out of a 300 horsepower all-wheel drive car. Right now, my suspension is a lot stiffer than the suspension on this thing. This actually has adaptive suspension. That's always a fun road. If I just put this back into drive, back into comfort. It's quiet. Can't feel a bump in the road. That may be a bit of an exaggeration. This is still like a sporty car. So it's not it's not floating over the pavement or anything. Like I said, I wouldn't mind taking this on a road trip. This would be a good road trip car. Actually has auto start stop too. The shifts are very smooth in comfort. Very smooth. I will say, the shifts are very fast in Sport Plus, but you do feel them. There's a little bit of a jerk. Not as much as a manual transmission, obviously, but not as smooth as a dual clutch. But when you're in comfort and things just kind of taking its time shifting, you don't even feel the shifts. The brakes might be very performance oriented, but they're not as jolty as you'd expect from performance brakes. They're a good middle ground, I'd say. They really bite when you want them to, but for just daily driving, very easy to use. I mean, this car is what it was made to be. This is a compromise between a base Model 2 Series and an M2, and I think they did a really good job. It has the same engine as the M2. If you want it to be fast, you can make it fast for less than the cost of what an M2 goes for. Would I take this over my WRX if I had to pick again? I think I would. I think I would also go for the manual rear-wheel drive version before I got this car, but that's just because I love manuals and rear-wheel drive is fun. Favorite road to take pictures on. I'm gonna get some sound clips of this thing doing a flyby, and I might give you a few of my car too to compare. Obviously mine has an aftermarket exhaust and this does not, but it's fun, why not? Oops. Park. There we go. This gear lever takes some getting used to, but I mean, it's intuitive, and I see why the industry is going towards like everybody's using one of these now. It's something to get used to. I was just gonna set up my tripod to film, but Hayden offered to, so I might as well let him. What are you talking about?
It's black. I know how to record. You hit that button, but just like that.
You ever tried taking the lens cap off?
You didn't tell me you put the lens cap on.
My guy.
I don't shoot pictures and things.
All right.
All right. Back in
nothing. I'm putting that in there. Hayden, you deserve to get flamed for that. That felt nice. That's the first time I've gone even near a red line. That felt nice. That wasn't.
She hauls ass.
Yeah, she does. All right, one more.
The shifts are crazy.
Yeah. Oh, whose Subaru is that? What? That's sexy. I'm very surprised that this BMW doesn't have backup camera, but it is what it is. This thing hauls. Aiden was not lying. So I'm gonna spend probably the rest of the day with this car and just drive around normally, and then I will go ahead and give you guys my verdict. I don't know. I'm not a professional car reviewer. All right, Hayden's about to do one because I want to hear what it sounds like on the outside. Those shifts are crazy. He was not lying. Alright, I'm gonna do a couple flybys in mine as well, just for comparison's sake. I can already tell you what it's gonna be. It's gonna be louder, and it's gonna sound like a 4-cylinder instead of a 6. But that's not the point. The point is to have fun. We should probably get the out of here. What do you mean, officer? We were just sitting here in the parking lot, admiring the view. So after driving this thing for a bit, a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, the fact that it doesn't have a backup camera is kind of annoying. It's not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker for the car, but it is kind of annoying, something you gotta get used to, not having it there. Another like minor inconvenience is that sometimes when you're trying to get out of the car, the doors will be locked. And so, like even when you turn the car off. So you have to like pull the door handle twice, like once to unlock it and once to open it. Obviously you wouldn't expect that you need to do that, so you pull the handle and you go to get out and you can't. The door won't open. And it's because it was still locked. It's just weird. Weird BMW stuff, I assume. The last thing that I've noticed is that, this is just true for automatic cars in general, that it's kind of hard to like jump in and start having fun. So I'm driving like you normally would. You're just chilling in comfort, not messing around, and suddenly a nice turn comes up and you want to have fun. Okay, I need to go into Sport Plus, hit the button twice. I need to go into manual mode, and then downshift a bunch, and then now you're ready to go. And whereas with a manual car, well, you downshift once, maybe twice if you were really cruising, and you're good. So it's a bit of a process to start having fun in this car. But once you go through that process, it's certainly very fun. The brakes are really good as my phone goes flying. with this car is the brakes. So yeah, other things that I've learned, those were the three, I guess, negative things that I found out about the car, and they're all very small. They're just kind of nitpicky things. Things that I've learned that I really like are, one, the brakes, obviously. Two, the daily drivability of it is insane. It's very insulated, very easy to drive. You don't have to worry about scraping everywhere, which I do in mine, through no fault of Subaru at all. That's my own problem. And one thing that can be taken as either a good or a bad thing, depending on your viewpoint, is it's pretty fast. I was just cruising on the highway, got a flat stretch of road, can see for a mile, see nothing's coming, so I go for it. And I look down, like 3 seconds later, I'm going 110 miles per hour. Like, it creeps up on you how fast 300 horsepower in this kind of car really is. I keep saying 300 horsepower, it's 320 for all my BMW fanboys. You gotta know what you're doing, or this car will get you into trouble. It's hard to compare the handling between this car and mine, although they weigh about the same, maybe a difference of 200-300 pounds. But this feels like more of a straight line car than a turns car, I guess. Feels like the Subaru definitely just is better for back roads. It's probably just the tires, if I'm being completely honest, because like I said, these tires are very skinny, they're not performance tires, and I'm assuming that's honestly why it feels like this. But it just feels like it's meant to go in a straight line. Not saying that it doesn't handle well, because it definitely does, but compared to my car, it just doesn't feel as good. Now, I guess I would need to drive it again once Hayden puts some better tires on here to get an actual even comparison. I mean, this thing isn't a muscle car. It handles very well. I'm just saying, relative to what I have now, I would take the Subaru over this on a back road. I do like that. It's just one button here. Gets you to whatever you want. If you want nav, one button. Media, one button. It's funny, in this car you don't feel like you're going as fast as you really are for some reason. It could be because it's quiet, insulated, but I mean, I'm just like kind of cruising at 60 miles per hour on this back road, and I don't even feel like I'm driving very fast. And I know it is pretty hard to compare the handling because I drive the absolute crap out of my Subaru, and I'm not driving this like I would that. So I definitely haven't hit the limit of what this can do, but what I'm saying is I know it can be a lot better with the right tires, and right now I would take my Subaru over this in the current state. The brakes are wonderful though. One thing I will say about the handling, it's very balanced. It does not understeer like the Subaru does. It oversteers more than anything, really. But the traction control certainly keeps you in check. What was that bling? Oh, I need to get gas. So, my final verdict. If for some reason you were debating between buying a WRX or a 235i, I would go with the 235i. Kind of an easy choice. As the overall better car. If you are buying a WRX is your weekend car and all you want to do is drive on the back roads, then I would get the WRX. But for anything other than that specific circumstance, I would go with the BMW. It's a better daily driver, it's faster in a straight line, it's an overall better car in my opinion. I guess that's going to be all for this video. Big thanks to Hayden for letting me drive his car for the day. It's been a very fun time. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.